and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of October 31st. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. And so this week we finished season 2 of Rutherford Falls. Woo! And of course, we watched the Halloween episode of Dancing with the Stars, season 31, and Terry is screaming.
Yes, these are my notes. Well, I can't read my notes from the end because it spoils it, but when we get there. Probably things are not fixed. Probably things are just organically done. Probably they're getting the scores they get. Probably everything's on the up and up, but they sure make it look like it's not.
Right.
They're not going to any effort whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So, Halloween. My husband was in the room when Tyra came out in her skeleton outfit.
Right.
And he said, "What is she wearing?" And I said, "Oh, she's worn worse. This is actually not too bad."
And also, why is Alfonso not in any sort of costume? I mean, all the judges, even Len is wearing some semblance of a costume. And yet Alfonso, he's like, "No, I'm out."
He's the one sane dude there. He's proving to be a not great
funny
interviewer of contestants.
No, he is really not.
I respect his holding out on the costume. Good for you, man. Keep your dignity as long as you can. Well,
yeah,
quite a lot of it's already gone because, he's just not. I did enjoy when Alan picked him up, but
yes,
and when Trevor called him Tyra. After he had gotten the names mixed up. So
right after
that was fun.
Alfonso called Vinny Trevor, so then Trevor.
There was fun to be had with him, but he was not so much fun.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how much, of these, how many of these bad questions are being fed to him.
That's true. Yeah.
He's forced to
doing his best. I feel like Gabby took our note from last week about giving good, background face because she was smiling anytime she was on the camera. She was smiling. She was rooting for people. She was looking into it.
Right.
Still don't like her, but I do respect that she is making an effort.
Yes.
So.
And she had to dance with Alan this week because Val has COVID, so yeah, it keeps coming for them, doesn't it?
Why did she not have to wear a big goofy mask on her face the way Joseph did when Daniela was out?
Yeah,
and this is Halloween. They could have even found a way to make it part of her costume.
Right.
But she gets to go out there with her face, her plain face, and Joseph looked like he was wearing a paper bag.
Yes.
And also,
I don't know if it has to do with the timing of it. Who
I
knows?
Wonder.
Yeah.
And also, Joseph got somebody from the troupe, and he could have got Peta instead. She was already out at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't care. It's okay. But I did wonder. I would like to see a published copy of their rules for this. It seems rather, I don't know. So Halloween is always weird. Lots of ugly costumes, terrible makeup.
Mm-hmm. The scary contact lenses, those freak me out. But not as much as the makeup on Coco.
Yes, wow. That was very unsettling.
That was very disturbing. Mm-hmm.
And Artem's outfit, I think, should have had a viewer advisory on it. Does anybody want to explain to their children what was up there?
Well, Bruno was not too far off from what Artem was wearing.
This is Disney, dang it! What are you wearing, man?
And then you had the scary dolls.
Yeah. Yeah. Shangela is just too cheerful to be a scary doll, though.
Right.
Boy, did that team dance knock her down. She was like perfect score, and then she was like in the middle of the pack.
She had a perfect score. Yeah, that was too good.
I don't know. It seems fishy to me.
Well, let's look at the individual dances quickly first. So we had Brandon and Jordan doing the tango, and I thought it was
her best dance yet.
Yeah.
I really do like...
Well, file that away for later.
That is the voice of doom, actually, by the way. If somebody says that's the best blank, you're going home.
Yeah.
But...
You gotta be concerned.
Yeah. I mean, their dance was okay. I didn't like the song they were dancing to. But I really do enjoy her attitude, and I will really miss that, because she just always seemed to be having the kind of contestant I like, who is just having a good time, trying hard, but not tying herself in knots over it, and she was, so, I liked her.
Yeah. So her tango was followed by an Argentine tango from Charlie and Mark, and I did not. They did that. She did that weird thing where she like flipped upside down and was in like a wheel pose, which it's called wheel in yoga, and then walked around. Like, that is creepy. That's not. No.
Well, I think it's supposed to be like from The Exorcist, right?
I guess
that was legit creepy. Again, my husband wandered through the room when they were dancing, and he always asks who's the pro and who's the contestant. And I said, "Oh, this is the TikTok girl." And then she did that move, and I said, "Yeah, she knew how to dance before she came in here." He says, "I guess."
Yeah, but that's not the move that I'm here for.
That's true.
Yeah, I found that to be very disturbing.
And then we had a little part.
It's like in Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yes. Remember all the creepy toys, and there was like a baby doll head that had just like spider legs.
Yes,
do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly.
That's what that was.
Creeped Catherine out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is after I spent 3 hours, handing out candy, and there were plenty of small children wielding terrifying weapons and having like blood all over them and stuff. Oh, no, thank you. One kid had like a baseball bat with nails all sticking out of it. I'm sure it was some character, because he had like a sailor suit on and like a kitty, old-fashioned sailor suit, and then he had this bat with all these nails in it. So I'm sure it's some kind of character. But yeah,
thank you.
That's disturbing.
We were taking a walk, to digress a moment on the topic of Halloween, taking a walk through our neighborhood at just the time of night when the kids are starting to come out and trick or treat. We never get anybody at our house, and in fact did not get anybody tonight. But there's some side streets by us that are super into Halloween, and they were pretty busy. And at this one point, we walk by this car, and I sort of just look into the car, and like, there's Frankenstein sitting there in the front seat, called shotgun, just sitting there, deadpan. Like, all right, well, okay. Yes. It's that night. And Wonder Woman came running out from her door, and we waited for her to cross the street, because we stop for superheroes. And
yes, of course.
Lots of little kitties.
Yes, I had quite a few Spider-Men, for sure. And the actual firemen, one of the fire trucks from our town just parked across the street and started handing out candy.
Oh, goodness.
I was like, man, don't steal my thunder. I need to get rid of all this candy.
Did you run out?
I did. Well, I got to... It was meant to end at 7, and I had like maybe a third of a giant bowl left, or less than that, a quarter of a bowl. And so I just stuck it on the porch. Yeah. So if anybody came after hours, they could finish it off. And they did.
So back to our dancing.
Anyway.
As much as
back to our dancing.
Not. So we also had a little bit of a partner swapping situation with Charlie, too, because Pasha came in and practiced with her, I guess. But Mark danced with her. Right, because
Mark then danced with her. So.
What's going on at this place? You've got, I think Daniel was sick. Wayne was sick last week. Had 2 pros out with COVID. Mark's got a back thing going on. Maybe they should just shut this down for a few weeks and just everybody go rest. Selma was driven out of the competition by it being too hard for her. Right. They're dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, speaking of Daniel.
Yes. I thought they did a good job. They had a paso doble and Britt had a cool, they were supposed to be game characters, but to me they looked sort of steampunk. Western-ish, it was a lot of leather. And
there were zombies sometimes,
dark brown leather.
And not zombies sometimes, and
right. So, but I thought that they did a good job.
And the judges generally did too.
Yeah.
So,
and they were kind of towards the bottom, but
that's right. They just
but then
but Derek and Bruno liked it better than Len and Carrie Ann.
Right, and then the group.
We'll talk about that.
Brought Daniel. Yeah, we'll get to that, but that helped him. Helped him a lot.
Yes,
so,
not helped with Shangela, who the creepy doll dance got perfect 40. Woo!
Perfect 40. Everybody loved it.
I know it was. They did a terrible, terrible cover of Taylor Swift. I don't mind that song when Taylor Swift is singing it, but it was not good, as is so often the case.
Right.
And so it was distracting to me. It's never mind the murderous dolls on the floor. What are you doing to Taylor?
Right. What are you doing to Taylor Swift?
But I was happy for them. They did.
Yeah. And did they ever reveal who the doll was? Because they had her up in the
I don't think they did.
Afterwards.
I assumed it was the blonde troop girl.
Yeah,
but the mask they had on her was creepy. I think even than the other two.
Creepy. Yeah, that was like a full on mask where you couldn't. It wasn't makeup; it was an actual mask. So.
I mean, I didn't think the dance was that great, but I was happy for them to do well. It's their turn.
Right. Well, it was very synchronized. They were totally together. I thought.
Good for them.
So. Good for them.
We had the traditional Sasha pulling Halloween pranks on people.
Yes. Which we have to have every year.
It wouldn't be Halloween without it.
No, it sure wouldn't. And of course, Charlie is completely unmoved. Yes. She's the only one.
I think Jordan just laughed at him too, right?
Yes, Jordan laughed at him, and Charlie just
seriously, old people, they're so embarrassing.
Right.
Oh, and Vinny
and Coco with the melting face makeup. Very, very disturbing.
Yeah. And
that was another paso doble, which, it's supposed to be sort of stompy, isn't it? And then they ding him for being
nice to him.
Stompy.
And
so
I'm
really
not saying
nice.
He's good. I'm just saying that I enjoy his attitude and I hate the way other people are being pushed. So I will continue to vote for him. I am the one.
Right.
Everybody who asks. And apparently there are many, 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 many of me because he keeps sticking around. God bless him.
Yep, he does.
But who was it? Was it Len who said it wasn't super and it wasn't really very natural? Come on. Yes. Do you have scriptwriters making up bad Halloween puns just so you can drop them on people?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
I know. No.
Oh, well.
And he continues to have a good attitude,
He does. When we get to the team thing, he was so psyched. And yet,
Yes.
Anybody who's watched the show before could kind of see where that was going to go. But anyway, and then Heidi. Blah. She did get some criticisms for her tango, and she said she felt it was crazy last week for her to be on, her and Charlie to be number 1 and 2 on the leaderboard. And I was saying, yeah, lady, you're not the only one who thinks it's crazy.
Right.
But I found their whole scene to be completely disturbing in that dance, and I just, yeah, less said about that, the better.
Right. Yes. Move on.
And then Gabby.
Val/Alan and Gabby.
Val looked really shaggy. Has he been looking that shaggy all season?
Yeah, maybe that's how
I'm afraid the hair virus that Mark has might be creeping over to Val. And when he comes back from COVID, he's going to have like shoulder length dreadlocks or something.
This is a little known effect of COVID-19. It's the Omicron variant.
It's a geopet variant.
This is what happens. Get your vaccine, people. Get your booster or else. But Alan was so cute. He's adorable.
Yes.
Always. And, he didn't even get any days off.
Right back in. I'm thinking
his partner just left last week.
Pasha or Sasha or Louis have liked to have that opportunity to get their face on TV again? No?
I don't know. I feel like Louis like, I'm only here. I was just here for Cheryl. Like I'm not. He did this dance disco tonight, thing but I feel like we haven't seen him for weeks.
He did that disco thing with Cheryl, and it looked like possibly he had been imbibing before doing it because he was very loose.
Yeah, and you're not going to catch him with weird contacts and his. He has in his contract. I must be eliminated before the Halloween episode. Right, I'm not doing that.
Sign me appropriately.
Yes. So Gabby, it's fine. She's got some long legs that she knows.
Yes. I did kind of like the dance, but still don't like her. I'm looking at my notes here, and at one point I wrote, "Oh, Gabby, ick, stop it." I have no idea what that was apropos of, but she's
probably when she went over to Bruno and
yes, that was it. You are correct. Yeah. When Alan did it to Alfonso later, it was cute, but no.
Yeah,
I don't know. She's just nails on the chalkboard to me, but there she goes.
So
Wayne. What did you think about Wayne and Whitney?
I thought it was fun. This was this contemporary where they were like cyborgs and wearing black jumpsuits and stuff. And it was like close to hip hop, It wasn't a barefoot contemporary like you so often enjoy. So I don't know. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was okay. I would have liked to have been better. There was a whole lot of faffing about there at the beginning. Did we have to take 10 seconds to get them out of their little capsules? Would we not have known what they were supposed to be? Since it was just mentioned in the package. That seemed like some wasted time. And when they said, this is the most creative contemporary we have ever had, I'm like, Daniela last season?
No.
The one with Whitney and Frankie where he was creepy looking in her window and then attacking her? I can think of probably quite a few that I think is more creative than that. That just seems like a standard issue. Oh, we'll be cyborgs and we'll move in real creepy ways. And okay,
Yeah.
But
I thought it was fun. I definitely was like, what now? Yeah.
And Wayne said he was injured now.
Right. But he wasn't going to say where
they
or
have
how.
Like a city MD attached to the studio there. I don't know if they have that in other places. Urgent care facility. I just keep rotating them through.
Right.
So, up from the bottom 2 last week comes Trevor. He has apparently found out how much you have to pay to do well on this show. and has delivered that some, and suddenly, look at him go. He's terrific. That was a very nice dance. That was a lovely dance. I liked it very much. It was very pretty. It was a good concept. Very clever of Emma. But, oh my goodness. He's just the bee's knees now.
Right.
And
was that the one where Bruno had goosebumps and Carrie Ann was crying? And
I think it was all 10s except Len gave them a 9.
Yeah, let me see. Yep, 39. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm happy for you, man. And you're a little less wooden now. But that's sure some reversal of fortune there in 1 week. That's
it sure is.
Just seemed like suddenly they're pushing him for reasons I know not.
Yeah, because I can't imagine that he has a big
I cannot
voting
imagine
base.
Which is why he was in the bottom 2 twice. It's when at one point he said, I'm doing better. I just can't understand why I'm in the bottom 2. And it's like, you have no fans.
Right.
It's quite simple. But
we can explain it to you.
I guess everybody there is a fan of his because they sure want him to stick around. And then, which leads us to the teams.
Right.
Vinny and Trevor were the team captains because they were the 2 lowest scoring in previous times. I guess at the time that they made the choices.
Right.
And
at the end of last
And they
week.
allegedly picked their own teams. And I thought for a moment about going back and taking some votes away from Vinny for picking Gabby first.
Right.
Come on, man. Work with me here.
Mm-hmm. So that Vinny's team was Vinny, Gabby, Jordan, Heidi, and Shangela.
So some, high-scoring people there. Not too bad.
Right.
And then the other team, Trevor's team was...
Trevor, Charlie, Wayne, and Daniel.
Okay, so one team had 5 and one team had 4. And it's like I always feel that the team that goes first is going to lose. I don't know that that's always 100% happened, but they got to set the scores a little. Nobody's going to get 10s if they go first because they have to then see what the second one is.
Right, because then what can they do for the
I mean, there
second
may have been times where just everybody got 10s. I'm not sure. But again, since they seem to be using these vote-proof special things as, calibration for... So, of course, Vinny's team did not win, and their not winning put Shangela down to the middle, from perfect 40 to middle of the pack in the end, and did not hurt Vinny because he has fans, but it did hurt Jordan, who wound up in the bottom 2 with Heidi. And I thought when I was looking at the way this team thing was going, and that clearly Vinny's team was going to lose, I thought, well, maybe this is how they're getting rid of Heidi. She's been in the bottom 2 once before. Maybe this is how they're going to get rid of her. So that would be, some consolation. And, I was glad that Trevor's team did good for Daniel's sake. That's very nice.
That helped Daniel.
Yeah, and I suppose their dance was better.
Yeah.
They had a better song, for sure. And, the thing is, they were saying, well, if you have 5, you could do more intricate things, but also if you have 5, it looks busier. It looks smoother with 4. So whatever, I guess that it just seems like a little hurtful to lowball one team and then give the other 10s and say how fantastic they are.
Yeah.
There should be a more graceful way to do that. I don't know what it'd be, but I wish there was.
Well, I mean, they could just place them 1, 2.
Yes.
Like, instead of 40 points, like, it could have been like, okay, the winning team gets an extra 10 points each, and the other team gets nothing, or whatever. Like, and don't decide until they've both danced.
I would like that. That would seem fair.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Right.
And one of those things that makes you think, Are these scores organic? But anyway, so indeed, we did wind up with Heidi in the bottom two, as well as Jordan in the bottom two. And I'm like, you better. These were my notes as it was unfolding. And these are all in all capital letters in bold. If they keep Heidi, I will be very, very mad. Get Heidi out of here. They got to tie for drama. And then there's a space, and then there's,
of course,
I am done with the show. I am done. I was not happy. So, as you might guess from that, listeners, Jordan went home extremely graciously. Just a lovely person.
So
she was smiling through the whole thing, joking with Alan.
Yep.
Whereas Heidi, now, in fairness,
with Brandon,
Heidi had on her makeup from her dance, which was ridiculous and was made to make her look scary, but she looked pissed.
She really did. I mean, she was not smiling at all. I mean, if she were smiling, we could have seen it even with the makeup on. And
I mean, I don't think there were prosthetics keeping her mouth like that. So, yeah, and she was the last time, too. She looked mad. And by contrast...
Maybe she wants to go home.
Does, but by contrast, Jordan looked like such a good sport. Like, yeah, well, I see where we're going here, but it's, it's okay. And then she, said something lovely to Alfonso afterwards about how happy she was to have done this. And so she was just exactly the way you should be on this show. It's fun, but it's not life and death. Right. So, oh, golly. Is Heidi now going to ascend to the point of the contestant I like least above Gabby? It could happen. I think it's possible. I'll have to check the scores. Of the demons in my brain. They had the perfect opportunity. But they must want to keep her for the mother and daughter thing. And next week, if Trevor is any indication, Heidi's going to be the belle of the freaking ball. Mm-hmm. Top scores, going to beat her daughter. She's going to everybody's going to go crazy. And I will be typing in all caps and bold again.
Right.
Why is this show this way, Catherine? Why can't we just enjoy fun dancing without all this ridiculousness?
I don't know what to tell you, Terry. We keep coming back.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next week you watch it and tell me what 5 minutes of things to watch.
Yes. Next week, 90s night.
Man. Is that really necessary?
With all kinds of guest stars and performers. So, I mean, I guess because now they're getting down to a smaller number of teams, so they have to have more filler.
I guess so.
And they're going to have the relay dance.
Oh, for goodness sake. Are they going to define how they're scoring the relay dance? Or is it just going to be, we have here the combined judges and audience scores, and they're not quite where we want them to be, so we're just going to do something. And probably not the case. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying, if they didn't want people to think that, there are things they could do. And
and they don't. So, they consistently don't.
For a significant consultant fee, I could help them out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe you said, didn't you, that one of the things they should do is have the pros and the troupe demonstrate the dances.
Is very nice. I like that they're doing that.
And they have been doing that.
That is very good. Yeah. And I still like all the little interstitial dances. I think that's so cool and such a nice addition. I think that always went on, but we didn't see it because of the commercial. Because a lot of times coming out of the commercial, they'd just be finishing something up.
Right.
So it was just there to entertain the audience. So I'm super glad we get to see it. I really enjoy it. And, such a boon for the kids in the troupe that they get on TV so much more. Good for them.
Yeah.
But also the pros, the idle pros, get to get out and do something every now and then. Anyway, so the theme of this episode is Man, we hated the ending. The theme of this episode is
right.
Stop before the last 5 minutes. And so we move on to our next show on that theme.
Rutherford Falls, the big election, and for the first half or so, it seemed like they were like all about wrapping up all the storylines.
Yes, it did.
And last week you were like, are we ever going to find out if she gets the land? Are we ever going to find out, if Bobby wins the thing? And it seemed like they were just going to town, like knocking down all of these loose ends, figuring everything out. And then it all fell apart, didn't it, Terry?
Oh, my gosh. It sure did. Josh coming back in town just as Regan and Nelson had declared their love for one another was oh boy, they're not going there, are they? And then, oh my gosh, yes, we have been begging for a payoff for Miss Fish, but not that payoff. No.
Yeah, and it was a real...
No.
It was a real switcheroo because first they made her super competent at one of her jobs that we didn't know she had, which is being a doula.
Which, see, again, qualities of characters that appear when they're useful.
Right.
What if...
And also economy of characters, like who's left.
Well, yes, that's true. I guess. Oh, goodness.
So yeah, first they misdirected by making her be actually good at that and competent and reasonable. And then they just threw that all away by insisting that she and Nathan get together because Nathan apparently is just absolutely irresistible.
What kind of lightweight is this man that we have now twice gone from him having a sip of alcohol with a woman to being in bed with her? What is the matter with you, man? Maybe you shouldn't be drinking at all. It doesn't seem to work out for you.
Right.
Golly. Just no. I may have fast forwarded at some points. Just no.
Yes.
And Regan finally got her land, but now she has an idea that she's going to help out all the single people who can't get land by making her place a commune of some sort.
Right.
Is that a story that I wish I could see move ahead? No. No, it is not. Nor is a love triangle in whatever sort of dimension it might be between Regan and Nelson and Josh. Nope. Not interested.
Yeah. Like, why? Who would ever think that we need not one but two love triangles that have been threatened and resolved and threatened and resolved like
I know
multiple times? Stop it.
Yeah, it's if their intention was to make you glad they didn't get renewed, A+ work, y'all. You did it. I am very happy to never have to see how you're going to do with those plot lines you started that you didn't need to start.
Yeah.
You really did not need to.
No,
it could have ended on a happy note in two different ways. And yet, is this like hoping that they would get a third season if they left some loose threads dangling?
I guess. That's
I
not
know
how that works.
That the people who were involved with Parks and Rec know how to do a season, possibly series finale.
Right.
Without leaving stuff hanging.
Right.
This was not necessary. And annoying. Honestly.
And they also did another, oh my gosh, are Regan and Nelson going to break up for a dumb reason?
Yeah.
Earlier in the episode where he was like, I have to go interview this elder. And I thought he was going to be like, I have to move there.
Oh, yeah.
Like they made it seem, and it was just that he wasn't going to be going to her land meeting with her. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for cutting the cord. So there would be no regrets whatsoever.
Right.
And Bobby won. Yay for them. And they did it by throwing Feather and Terry's kids under the bus, which I don't really so much care about, especially since Bobby was the one who was sort of helping the parents find the kids in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And, why not use that, honestly?
Right.
It's perfect. So,
And Feather
good for
was perfectly happy with not winning.
Right, and was
Because
then going to
she
make a
figured
book
out-
out of the whole thing,
Right.
which would be bad for Terry's son also, I guess, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That actor who plays Terry is so great.
Mm-hmm.
And the character at some points is right up to that level of greatness. And sometimes they just go other directions.
Right.
Find that man something better to do.
Right.
I challenge you, TV gods.
Yeah. Because he could do a lot.
Yes. He was very, very, he was the reason I am glad to have watched that show, because now I'm going to keep an eye out for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It was a thing that we watched, and that is no more.
I mean, there were some great moments. There were some really funny lines. We've now been introduced to Michael Greyeyes, who plays Terry Thomas,
Right.
and also Jesse Lee is the actor who plays Bobby.
Yes.
There's some and the one who plays Regan too. I mean, they were all really excellent.
Yeah, no quarrels with the actors at all.
Right. So yeah, that's what it gave us.
Yes.
These people. So we'll be happy for that.
Right. And we were recently very, very happy to find that Girls 5 Eva has been rescued off of Peacock and will have its third season on Netflix.
Yay.
Very excited to see that and very happy for them. Please, 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 nobody rescue Rutherford Falls. Just let it lay. Just let it
Mostly
stay there.
because
it knows
of-
what it did. Let it just stand in the corner.
exactly. Mostly because of that. Like,
Yes.
if they had ended it in a different way, then I wouldn't mind going back for more.
Yes.
Because there were lots of things I enjoyed about it.
Right. Right. That's just as Deidre's coming around, he does this stupid thing. Not even, I cannot understand what his motive would have been for it, if he even had one, if he was just drunk.
Right.
But just no.
Yeah, nope.
No. Have I mentioned no? It's the Minneshankan word for no.
Yes. Well, so now that we're done with that, we're going to move on to more like people making crazy decisions. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yes, we're taking the dysfunction up a whole nother level here. Back when the season of Dancing with the Stars that we're talking about right now began, for a brief period, Jason Lewis was a contestant. And when I was looking at his bio, it mentioned that he was on Brothers and Sisters. And I thought, really? Who is he on Brothers and Sisters? And I looked into it, and then I remembered who he was. And then I thought, oh, Brothers and Sisters is on Hulu. Maybe I'm going to watch a little of it. And I watched like 3 or 4 episodes in a row. This was a show that was on, I should know what.
I'm pretty sure it was on ABC.
It was on ABC quite a number of years ago. And stars Sally Field as the matriarch of a family that includes Callista Flockhart, Rachel Griffiths, Matthew Reese, Dave Annable, and what's the other guy? Balthazar Getty. And Ron Rifkin plays Sally Field's brother. And Patricia Wettig is there as a mysterious woman. And it's just very soapy and also very funny and fantastic acting. And boy, the first episode just got me hooked right in again. Back when this was on the first time, I wrote a blog about it for a little outfit that had a bunch of blogs about TV shows. And they went out of business, and so I stopped writing it at that point. I really had no way to continue it. But it was really fun to write about. I would write a recap, and then I would write grab quotes that I liked from it. And so I watched it for that amount of time, and then at some point they ticked me off with some plot developments, and I stopped watching it as much, and then I stopped watching it at all. But I think it'll be fun to watch. Let's at least watch the first season, which has most of the plot that I remember. Right. And then we can decide if we want to keep going. But it's a lot of fun. It really is just, funny and quick and catty and kind of quaint in its politics, in its political divisions. Mm-hmm. And so we will watch the pilot for that next week. And if you are interested in watching more, we will watch the first season, and then we'll see where we go from there. But, let's go back to yesteryear, shall we? Let's see. It started in 2006, which seems like a long time ago. No, I guess it's not really. Okay, so that's what we're doing next, from Rutherford Falls to Pasadena, California, in one hop.
All right. And, of course, Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Got a few more weeks of that.
Speaking of silliness and drama.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll continue with that and start with Brothers and Sisters. And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.